Secrets of Happy People, Episode 14, Avoiders of Sorrow. It was Dim's first visit to the family of his girlfriend, Eke. She had arranged for him to visit for the weekend. Accommodation was tight because the family was large. Eke had many brothers and sisters. They, however, squeezed out a space for Dim to share with Eke's eldest brother. Unknown to Dim, it was Eke's test for him to see if her family would approve of him. If they didn't, she would have to break off with him, as she did not intend to marry anyone that her family didn't approve. Hers was a closely knit family who enjoyed one another's company. All of them except Dada, the youngest. He was a free spirit, the family's black sheep. The weekend was a tough one for Dim. But eventually Monday arrived. He had survived. It was barely daybreak when he left. Later that evening, Eke's family gathered for a post-mortem on Dim. First to speak was their eldest brother. He thought Dim a recluse who only enjoyed chuckling at comedies and funny stuff. He did not like him. Next was their mom, who castigated Dim as lacking sympathy. She narrated how both of them had gone to the nearby supermarket where a beggar approached Dim with a touchy story that brought tears to her eyes, but Dim had shrugged the beggar off without a thought. Interestingly, their father agreed with his wife that Dim was not a sympathetic person. He himself had engaged Dim in a discussion about a nephew of his who recently lost an arm. They had caught him stealing and cut off his hand. He said he went on to tell Dim how much they struggled to save the boy, but that he eventually died, and that all Dim had to say was, "What a pity," and immediately changed the conversation to something happier. His verdict was thus that Dim may be a good man, but is unsympathetic. By the time they were done, it was clear that Dim had failed the family test. They concluded that he was unsympathetic, but would milk laughter out of every drop of humor or happy story. They thought him uncaring. Only Dada differed. He and Dim had bonded, sharing jokes and watching funny movies. They both loved the sunny side of life. And although Eke dumped Dim, he and Dada remained friends. In this family's verdict, Dim suffers a similar fate as would many happy people, because they tend to avoid dwelling on the sad and sorrowful. Unlike most, they hate to hug sorrow and misery. Happy people treat sorrow the way a good car tire would a surprise pothole on the road. It regrets bumping into it, but quickly bounces out of it and is happy again. Happy people detest anything that makes them dwell in sorrow. They would rather do their utmost to jump back to their preferred mood of happiness.